I'd say the greatest jihad, the more difficult one, is to struggle against your own self, to rectify yourself, change yourself, rid yourself of low qualities and so on. That's the more difficult jihad. The military struggle is undoubtedly, when we say it's the more important one, in this time there are people who are negating it. In this time there are people who are denying it outright. For that reason, at one level, so that's more important. Just so that people understand that if the Muslim lands are attacked, then by rule, every single Muslim should defend Muslim lands. Every single Muslim should be defending Muslims. So on that basis, Hukm al-Jihad madin ila yawm al-Qiyamah. As the books of Aqida say, the rule of jihad remains until the Day of Judgment. But that's just to highlight that the rule is not negated. But in terms of like rank or not rank the difficulty, you can say, it's sound to say that the spiritual struggle is more difficult. No. Any other questions on that? Anything less controversial? Okay, we now go on to a discussion after having spoken about or tried to understand the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We then go on to a discussion on the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the companions were selected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were selected just as he sallallahu alaihi wasallam selected and chosen. The companions were chosen for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's why we say the rank of suhbah, of being a companion of the Prophet is a unique rank. As we said before, no human being can rise to the rank through spiritual, through going through some type of spiritual training. So no human being can rise to the rank of prophecy. That's the grace of Allah subhanahu that He grants only to whomsoever He chooses. Same with Sahabi. Same with Sahabi. A Sahabi is somebody that Allah subhanahu selects as being a companion of His Prophet. There's an athar, a statement of Ibn Mas'ud that gives that meaning. Ibn Mas'ud says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created humanity and gazed at the heart of all of humanity and found that the heart of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the purest of all hearts and chose him to be the best of all creation. Then he gazed at the heart of the rest of humanity, other than prophets, and he found that the hearts of his companions were the purest of all hearts, and he selected them as companions of his prophet. So even the rank of Sahaba, Sahabi, is a unique rank. When we say about wilaya, like people who reach the highest ranks of spirituality, and we say, okay, they may well go through a process of spiritual discipline to reach a higher rank, you still can never reach the rank of a Sahabi. They still can never reach the rank of a Sahabi. The Sahabi is a unique group of human beings that Allah subhanahu selected to be with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The word itself tells you something. Sahib al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sahabi is somebody who spent time, who's a companion, who remained with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they have that rank which is unique from any other human being, even if that other human being may well have reached a rank higher spiritually in knowledge and so on. Even like Sayyidina Imam Abu Hanif rahimahullah said about Alqamah. Alqamah was from the Tabi'een, one of the teachers of his teachers, Imam Abu Hanif's teachers. He said Alqamah, and Alqamah Sheikh was Ibn Mas'ud anhu. Abu Hanif said about Alqamah, he said Alqamah was more knowledgeable than Ibn Umar and Ibn Abbas. He said, had it not been that they were Sahabi, I would have said Alqamah was greater. Had it not been for the fact that he was Sahabi, he said, I would have said Alqamah was greater. But what gave them rank over Alqamah is the fact that they saw the Prophet, that they were in the company of the Prophet, not change everything. And that's why points of belief now say the least Sahabi, and we don't try and identify whoever that is, the least Sahabi is higher in rank than the greatest of those who came after, which is the Tabi'een. The greatest of the Tabi'een is who? Sajid, you did this today, right? I don't know how to tell. Sheikh, did you do it today? You did it today. Who's the greatest of the Tabi'een? Uwais al-Qarni. Uwais al-Qarni. In terms of rank, Uwais al-Qarni. In terms of knowledge, you see Sa'id ibn Musayyib, Muhammad ibn Sirin and others. But in terms of spiritual rank, Uwais al-Qarni. So Uwais al-Qarni, despite his rank, does not match up to any Sahabi. Does not match up to any Sahabi. The Sahaba have a unique rank. Like the question now is, why do they have that rank? And we've touched upon this before, and we'll ask the question, what defines a Sahabi? It's not here in the note. What's the definition of what makes a Sahabi a Sahabi?
See the Prophet ﷺ.
And? Somebody else saying?
Believer.
So well, give us a full definition.
You see the Prophet, he believes in his message.
and dies on that belief. Somebody, that's Imam Bukhari's definition. Others changed that definition. Imam Bukhari, he said somebody who met, saw, believed, and died on that belief. Others say, just to make it slightly more precise, somebody who met the Prophet. Why say that? Because blind Sahabi, they couldn't see him. And blind Sahabi couldn't see him. They had that rank just by the mere meeting, whether or not they spent time with the Prophet. They became Sahabi just by the mere fact that they met the Prophet. Even if it was just for a moment, even if it was from a distance. If a Sahabi comes and from a distance sees the Messenger, he never actually had any communication, never spoke to him, never took Shahada in front of the Prophet, went away and believed and died on that, he's a Sahabi. Just coming into the rank, just coming into the sphere of contact with the Prophet makes him a Sahabi. As opposed to Uwais al-Qarni, he never came from Yemen. He was alive in the time of the Prophet, never left Yemen in order to serve his mother. He stayed in Yemen. Although he's alive, he never came to the sphere of contact with the Prophet. He never came, you couldn't actually say that he met the Prophet. Because of that, he's not defined as Sahabi.
Understanding is always something through to obedience with mother didn't know from that Prophet. So he may have the ability, and then people always say that he's got such a high rank that he'll be able to intercede for people on the day of judgment. So his rank is high, but some Sahaba may not be able to intercede for people. So to understand what his rank is.
Carrying on from that, okay, he has a rank where he can intercede some people, maybe even more so than Sahaba. But still, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Sahaba are a unique generation. So even though somebody from a lesser generation has something, they've been given more than somebody from a higher generation, that higher generation, just a mere contact and coming to presence the Messenger changes their state completely. And that ultimately tells you just the barakah, the blessing of coming into contact with the Messenger. It changes their state completely. So even though Uwais al-Qarni may well have something of that nature, he still doesn't match up to the Sahaba. Yeah.
What if a child, non-Muslim child, sees the Prophet ﷺ, but when the Prophet passed away, he becomes a Muslim as an adult? Is he a Sahaba?
He's not counted as Sahaba. No. He's not counted as Sahaba. There were cases where, as a non-Muslim, they were with the Prophet, but they didn't believe whilst they actually, or in the lifetime of the Prophet, they believed after. They're not, by definition, they're not Sahabi. We've already mentioned previously the discussion about Sayyidina Isa. Can Sayyidina Isa be defined as Sahabi? Because he meets the Prophet in a waking, living state on the night of Mi'raj. He's alive. He's alive. He meets the Prophet. He believes in him as well. He accepts. He believes. He knows that he's a messenger. Is he defined as Sahabi? There are those who say he's a Sahabi. Imam al-Dhahabi, rahimahullah, considers him to be a Sahabi, and others. The greatest of all Sahaba is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. The greatest of all Sahaba is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq.